Hello, everyone, and welcome one and all to Goldenseed Sessions, where we'll be unlocking the secrets to entrepreneurial success. And I'm so excited to be here today with Brittany Britton of Best Coast Law Group, a wildly successful probate and estate planning firm here in Los Angeles. Brittany, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason.
Yes, Best Coast Law Group. I love that name so much. Really awesome name. You can check out Best Coast Law Group at bestcoastlawgroup.com. They make estate planning and probate seamless and easeful with the best legal team California has to offer. Love that tagline. Love it, love it. Brittany, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm here in our Burbank office and it's a beautiful day.
Awesome. I love to hear that. It's a really good day for me as well. So let me get started and
Mhm.
introduce myself and explain what we're doing here with Goldenseed Sessions. So of course, I'm Jason, the owner of Goldenseed Local. We're a boutique marketing agency that aims to end the revenue drought for local firms using organic search traffic or local SEO, as you might be familiar with. And we wanted to create a space with Goldenseed Sessions where entrepreneurs like you, me, and Brittany share their experiences and advice with the community. Entrepreneurship is hard, it can be lonely. So in this session, we'll be discussing everything from Brittany's journey and sharing her experience as an independent law firm owner and share her vision for success. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share so we can spread these inspirational messages. And we'll dive right in with that. So Brittany, explain who you are in your own words. Let us know who you are.
Okay, sure. I am a mother. I am an LA local, and I am a trust and estate attorney who owns my own practice. We are 8 years in business now, so I think I've
Wow.
graduated beyond the junior attorney. We are now pretty established and spreading our wings throughout the state of California.
Awesome. Congrats. Congrats. I love to hear that. I love when people set out on their own and stick to it. And now they have such great, successful stories to tell. That's really great and inspiring. Brittany has inspired me so much. You guys, like, she doesn't even realize it, but she's inspired me so much. We met 3 or 4 years ago through our
Mhm.
networking group, TEAM Referral Network. And she explained her practice in a way that I can understand and inspired me to make that one of my focuses. And thank you, Brittany. I really am so appreciative of you in general. So yeah, I'm excited to dive in and hear about your experience and what made you go into being your own business owner in law. What was that like for you?
Sure. It was nothing I had ever really planned or considered prior to passing the bar exam. In law school, they don't talk to us about going into private practice, at least not 10 years ago when I was in law school. There's no business aspect of learning how to be a lawyer. So it never really crossed my mind. No one in my family is really entrepreneurial, let alone even a lawyer in my family. But when I passed the bar and I started looking at what the job availability was in my area here in LA, there was nothing that was really getting me excited to get out of bed in the morning. I knew that I loved working with families, but I did not want to do divorce, but I didn't want to do, tax or corporate law. I wanted to work with real people, and estates is a great area of law to focus on that. And truly, my daughter was 3 years old at the time. I know you know that, Jason, that wanting to
Mm-hmm.
be flexible and be home with my girl was a huge motivating factor for me to just strike out on my own.
Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. Flexibility and being able to not just be a good worker, but be a good mom. You want to be
Yeah.
able to have that and not have to sacrifice all you have for a job that sounds like they weren't really paying much or offering much, to begin with. So flexibility is something I hear a lot of entrepreneurs talk about as their why. So that's great. So what was the biggest influence and driver to keep going once you had started on your own?
Right. I mean, I am pretty stubborn. I don't give up easily. And honestly, I would say the biggest driver, though, was that I realized I had found a niche that I was good at, and I had
Hmm.
found a hole in the market. I know that's what a lot of business coaches and entrepreneur kind of advisors would say is you need to be solving a problem. And what I saw was that trust in estate law, at least in this area, was really a traditional kind of stuffy law practice. It was not accessible, it was not easy to understand. And when I started offering services the way I do, which is with a focus on it being easy for the client and accessible, whether it's accessible for an elderly person, a pregnant person, or a busy professional, whatever it is, it's got to be easy for the client to reach me. And I got the feedback that this was working and that my clients were happy, whether they were 35 or 95. I was getting that positive reinforcement that just kept me going because I thought I'm onto something. I've hit a button here.
Hmm. Yeah, so you really believed in the path you were on and you had these positive reinforcements. Is there anything that you do to kind of, I don't know, I guess, keep your confidence in yourself going? Do you have like a practice? Are you like very competitive or good at sports or something like that?
I am very competitive, and I have perfectionistic tendencies, definitely.
Mm.
One thing that my team and I have started doing, which at first they started doing begrudgingly, but now I think everyone likes it, I hope, is once a week when we have our team meetings, one member of the team will share one of their favorite Yelp reviews of our business.
Mm.
So we get some very colorful reviews. We we have clients who are really passionate about the work that we've done for them, and sometimes they leave novels, multiple paragraph reviews, and so it's a fun reminder for us of why we do what we do. Yes, we all want to have secure income and flexible schedules, but ultimately we're helping people at the end of the day. So I find it very motivating on those tough days to remind myself of all the clients we've helped through the years and read some of those really passionate reviews that people leave, that they were just so excited to share on Yelp or Google how happy they were with our services.
I love that. That is an excellent way to just reaffirm the work that you're doing. Just
Mhm.
like you said, on those tough days, go back and read and see the impact you made in other people's lives. And that's amazing. You make that a focus of your meetings. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I saw this advice the other day was to keep a folder on your desktop. And whenever you get a positive affirmation from someone you've helped, whether that's someone you mentored or a client or another professional or a family member or friend, copy it and put it in that folder. And when you're having a hard time slugging through a big case or dealing with a difficult client, open up that folder and remind yourself, like, this is why we're here today.
that is amazing. My goodness. That's something if I feel like I mean, I do it now accidentally. I will uncover like an old case study and be like, wow, I have come a long way. And that was impactful. But if I
Right.
had done that sooner, I feel like I would have a little bit more confidence today and just maintaining it. And the way you
Mm-hmm.
do it every week, like it's a regular thing. I love that. I would love to
Yes.
make that a habit. I just wrote it down, by the way. Like that's amazing.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah. So thank you. That was a gem. So
Hmm.
speaking of like your past stories or your past clients, I would love to hear some stories of what your most unforgettable outcomes were with clients.
Oh, okay. Wow. So many. I mean, look, I could tell you about the case that I closed last Friday, which was the biggest case of my career. Really big payday. But at the end of the day, that's not what keeps me going. I could tell you about a woman who hired me. This is on a probate case. She cold called our office. She just found us on Google, and she she was really emotional. This is probably a mid 70-year-old woman, and she had lost her daughter. Okay, so she's in a really tough spot. And I take her call, and she starts telling me her story, and come to find out that she's been through 3 attorneys and no one has been able to close this case for her in LA County. Meanwhile, she lives
Wow.
in the Bay Area. So she's doing this all remotely. She's lost her only child. I mean, this is a horrible situation. I say, okay, I'll take $1,000 retainer and let's see what we can fix for you. And we get in, and I see why it's such a mess. There was a mess. A lot had been done wrong over the years. We had to clean up a lot. I had to explain a ton to the judge, had to pull back bank statements. And at the end of the day, we found out we owed more money than we had in the bank. It was an insolvent estate.
Mm.
And when I had to call my client and explain that to her, it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. She was beside herself. And in that moment, I just knew the right thing to do was I said, we're going to do it pro bono. You don't owe me a dime. I'm out of pocket $500, $600 on your court filing fees. But let's just call it even, and we're going to get this closed for you. And so by waiving my attorney fee, she was able to pay off all of the debt. She still had nothing at the end of the day to show for her daughter's estate, but she had peace of mind that all of the affairs were in order, and she had handled everything on her daughter's behalf. And actually, her Yelp review is one of my favorite reviews to read because it's just so sweet and it's so from the heart. And I told her, don't tell anyone I did this for free. I don't want people thinking this is a pro bono firm. But she was just at the end of her rope, and these attorneys
Yeah.
had all kind of abandoned her over the years. And so 5 years after she opened her daughter's estate, we were able to get it closed, and we did it pro bono. And I'm really proud of that case.
Yeah, that's amazing. Working from the heart to get somebody closure, through such
Mm-hmm.
a long process of grieving. I couldn't imagine what this is like, having to need a probate lawyer to fix something, and you have someone after your affairs and maybe going after legacy. It's really tough to deal with that. And it's amazing that you make it easy. And even some cases, you work from what's right. You do what's right for people. And that
Right.
is the mark of a great attorney, I think.
Thank you,
Great
Jason.
story.
It's just such a personal area of law. And, so
Hmm.
that's my probate side. On the estate planning side, people will come to me with a box of files and papers that they've had for 25 years. And, an attorney did a trust for them 25 years ago, and they've just thrown property tax statements and bank statements into this box, and they bring it to me. And to the satisfaction I get from turning that into an organized binder for them, I can't even tell you. And then we digitize everything and put it on a flash drive for them. And, so they walk in here at the beginning of the month with a box that just gives them anxiety and keeps them up at night. And they
Hmm.
leave 30 days later with a very well organized table of contents. Everything's color coded, and they have a flash drive, and they're just so happy. And I feel like they're literally going to sleep better that night. So I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's that perfectionist in you, I'm seeing.
It's that Virgo, Jason.
Hmm. Oh yeah, Earth signs. So thank you for that. That was amazing.
Hmm.
So let's talk about your vision for your law firm. You've undergone a great branding, which I'll let you tell us about.
Hmm.
What's next? Like what else are you working on?
Right. So, I was originally Britton Law Group, which is my last name. And we were Britton Law Group for many years. And as I've grown, I have a team of 4 amazing employees now that really keep us going. And I virtually serve the state of California, and, via Zoom, email, mobile notaries, and a lot of FedEx. And we are getting bigger. And I had this idea that this firm needs to be bigger than me.
Hmm.
And it needs to stand on its own as what we stand for is bigger than just me as the lawyer. We are definitely a team here at Best Coast. So we hired this incredible branding company out of Denver, Colorado, Special Sauce, and worked with them for 8 months on the rebrand of Best Coast Law Group. And that name is really meant to indicate that we are the best at what we do. And we serve the state of California. We are not a local solo practitioner here in Burbank. We are statewide. And so, I want to create a brand that is known for being the best at trust in estates. We don't try to do anything else. We know what we're good at, and we do it really well. So we will not be expanding our practice areas. We are exclusively estate planning, trust administration, and probate administration in California. You're not going to see me adding on litigation. You're not going to see me adding on business law, guardianships. But what you are going to see is my team continuing to spread throughout the state. So just last year, we opened our Palm Springs office. I had a large number of clientele out in the desert anyway, and sometimes they want to be face to face with me. And so I wanted to invest in Riverside County by getting a brick and mortar spot where I can sit down and see my clients, not just on Zoom, but face to face if they would prefer that as well. And you're hearing it here first. I have my eye on the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo, maybe the Paso Robles area, perhaps even up to Monterey. I think there's some really great communities in there that are not high net worth. They're not Montecito. They're not, Marin County. They are relatively middle to upper middle class, owner-occupied home communities that are sometimes forgotten by trust and estate attorneys that just want to focus on the uber wealthy. That is not really my clientele. So I think that in this area of law, clients like to see their attorney face to face. It's emotional, it is personal. And so I want to be available for that while remaining available virtually. And so I think San Luis Obispo might be a 2024 expansion, and let's just go further. I see Sacramento in the future as well, so that all the way to the top of the state.
That is amazing. I'm just like, I hear you, but I can also see it happening. Like, this is something you really are focused on. There's that clarity and focus in what you really believe in, and you're spreading that. That's amazing and so inspiring. My goodness. You see, everybody, this is why I love Brittany. I love talking to Brittany. We have conversations like once a week within our group, and they've added up over the years to just like, wow, I love Brittany. I love hearing her speak. So thank you for sharing that. That was amazing and incredible. And I hope whoever's listening is inspired by that, because I'm just blown away right now.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go ahead and wrap up. We talked about a lot today. We've talked about having great values in your business, being a perfectionist, letting that be a good quality, and being competitive and really focusing on what you believe in. We talked about having a process for reminding yourself and giving yourself these positive affirmations so that you know that you are great when you have those moments when you're like, what am I doing? Am I really, we all have imposter syndrome. I deal with it all the time. And you offered a great way to combat that. That's amazing. I'm going to do that like today and make it a regular thing. Yeah. Well, what else we talked about? Necessity and being able to
finding the hole.
Path.
What's the hole that you fill in the market? That I think is huge. You cannot replicate what anyone else is doing. What makes you different? What can you provide that's just a little better? Because there's people out there that are looking for that.
Yeah, and that's a big piece. Absolutely. For any entrepreneur, find your niche and drill down. Like, don't get tempted and, oh, we're going to do this and this and that. No, focus on what you're great at and focus on the problem that you uniquely solve right there. And I think we can wrap up with that.
Yeah. Thanks so much for
Yeah.
this opportunity. It's good to see you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Brittany. And if anyone wants to get in touch with Brittany, bestcoastlawgroup.com. I'll have all the information for you to like and follow. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Tune in for the next episode. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. We have an accountant and bookkeeper coming on. So thank you guys for watching. And thank you, Brittany. I'll let you go enjoy your day.
All right. Bye.
Take care.